Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The DRF Bets race of the day for Saturday, December the 9th is the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Cash Call Futurity. Let's take a look at this field of 2-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. For free formulator past performances of this race, please head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Matt Bernier, basically the story of this race, Bob Baffert's got 40% of the field.
40% of the field, and it seems like I believe he's won this race every time it's been held at Los Alamitos, and he's won some absurd number, like 8 of these going all the way back to Hollywood Park. This is his race, and he has way the horses to beat in this spot.
The race of the day is sponsored by DRF Bets, and if you sign up to DRF Bets right now, you'll immediately access a $300 bonus, and all you have to do is go to drf.com/fall and use the promo code FALL300. Let's begin with the morning line favorite, Matt. That is the number 5 McKenzie, 99 buyer speed figure, first time out. I mean, he was wide, he cruised up on the outside, and he crushed.
He was a little bit late with the lead change. He flashed his tail a little bit. I'm just going to chalk that up to a first-time starter. If you take all those little, sort of pet peeves out of the way, the FIG, the 99, the 120 time form US rating, 120 for a 2-year-old, first-time starter. That doesn't happen if you believe it at face value. I mean, he's way the horse to beat in here. He's got pedigree that would suggest distance isn't going to be a problem. Would it surprise you at all if this horse won?
Wouldn't surprise me at all. He beat 2 next out winners in that race, one of them with a 90 buyer speed figure. He's shown up with the typical fast Baffert workouts leading up to a big race. I'm curious to see how he adapts to the possibility of a strong pace up front. So we'll cue the time form US pace projector for the Cash Call Futurity. The red bar indicates that our friends at Timeform US believe that the pace will be hot. They have McKenzie up front, but don't you get the feeling that Mike Smith would be just happy if the 4 Runaway Ghost, another stretch out sprinter, goes to the front, and McKenzie not only sits off that horse, avoids a duel, but gets a lesson or two?
100%. I would be very, very surprised if they said go on with it. I think this is an instance where you take that outside post position to your advantage. Let Runaway Ghost. Let Solimini even go a little bit, and if you believe For Him can go early on with them, just based on his early splits, maybe he can, let them all go. If you think you're better than him, keep him in the clear and let him run.
Solimini has the important experience edge over McKenzie. 3 starts for Solimini, 1 for McKenzie, 2 route races for Solimini, both of them in Grade 1 races, far from embarrassed in each of them. He caught Bolt d'Oro when that one freaked in the front runner. Last time out in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, I like the ride Pratt gave him. He got this horse right into the race. He tried to break it open at the 5/16 pole, like McKenzie, a little bit late with his final lead change when drifting down towards that deep inside. But I thought, all in all, a good performance. This is a horse I think that needs racing. He's still green, and Baffert could easily have put him away for the spring. They have high hopes for this horse, but I'd like to give him another race to keep learning.
It's one of those things. I don't know what to think of this horse just yet. For the first 2 starts, I was in agreement with everyone saying, keep running him. He needs to figure his thing out. And I think you do need to keep running him. I'm just wondering, is he more calculator, where he just keeps running into these really, really talented horses as 2-year-olds, and finally he's going to break through with a giant effort as a 3-year-old? Because if you believe that McKenzie is the real deal, and you believe Good Magic, and you believe Bolt d'Oro, then he just had the most miserable luck possible. Or is he the kind of horse that are we going to continue to make excuses for him when he keeps getting beat? It's too early to tell just yet, but there's a part of me that says if he doesn't run really well here, I'm going to start getting concerned.
I agree 1,000%. The Keeneland graduate Solimini should also work out a nice trip. While he was very forwardly placed in the juvenile, I think Pratt's going to let Runaway Ghost, let McKenzie go, settle in third, try to get to the outside, which shouldn't be much of a problem. And we'll learn a lot more about Solimini in the Cash Call Futurity. Instilled regard, when you look at this pedigree, he's by Arch. He sold for over $1 million. You got the feeling that eventually they'd stretch him out and he'd do good things, and lo and behold, first route race last time out, a much improved performance, although buyer speed figures are still static.
I like this horse a lot. I don't like him a lot in here. I think he's in way too deep. To me, he's the kind of horse that, similar to Solimini, you got to run him, you got to get some more experience, because even though he did win for fun in that most recent start, first time 2 turns, you could tell Mike Smith, he had to hit him a couple times. I don't think this horse really knows what he's doing just yet. I would like to think that as he continues to mature and grow, I think Hollendorfer might have a decent 3-year-old on his hands.
Instilled regard as one of only 2 horses in this race with a win around 2 turns. They're both prices. The other one is the 2 For Him, who went gate to wire 2 starts back at Del Mar, but only with a 50 buyer against a weak $50,000 maiden claiming field. Outran expectations last time out on turf in the Zuma Beach. While he's shown speed going long, I'm not sure he's shown this kind of speed.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I guess I have a hard time envisioning any scenario with him winning. I know it's only a 5-horse field, but to me, if he wins, unless the racetrack is just tilted one way or the other to his advantage, I would really, really question everyone in this race.
Let's take a look at our picks for the Los Alamitos Futurity. I'm just going with a complete shot in the dark. I don't have a very strong opinion in this race. The 4 Runaway Ghost won a maiden second time out in June. This looked like a very precocious 2-year-old, and then went to the sidelines for about 5 months. And I'm hoping that that layoff did him a world of good, and he returned bigger and stronger and better. And if you believe the buyer's speed figure for the most recent race, the Golden Nugget Stakes over a Tapeta surface at Golden Gate Fields, well, he did come back bigger and better because he won with an 86 buyer, and he did it very easily. The problem is the field he beat was putrid. He's going to have to stretch out, and while I think he gets the lead, a lot easier than Timeform US projects, I don't think it's going to be an uncontested lead. He's going to have to fend off McKenzie, fend off Solomini. This is just a stab play because McKenzie's got to do it around 2 turns. Solomini, I have the same questions with you at a short price. Basically, if I'm playing multiple race wagers, I'm using the 2 Bafferts and praying. And in this situation, a few bucks on Runaway Ghost.
The thing with Runaway Ghost, if you're a class player, then you're looking at him saying he can't win. If you look at him from the tape standpoint, he won that race like a good thing. And at no point, and not because he won by 8 lengths, he just looked like a horse that knew what he was doing. Some time off did him some good. Keep in mind, that one run that he had, that victory back in June, he beat a decent enough field. You had a couple of next out winners come out of that spot. To me, I think this is an interesting spot. If he proves that he can at least run 2 turns against this company, even if he doesn't win Saturday, I think that could bode well going forward, because keep in mind, you still got a race like the El Camino Real as 3-year-olds. If you can see out the distances, you can always send him back there. This race, to me, is not necessarily indicative of what he's going to be. I think this horse is interesting, win or lose on Saturday.
But the understandable question marks of distance,
of course,
class, pace, you have to demand. I think he's 8 to 1 in the morning. I might need 10 or 12, and in a 5-horse field, I might not get it. Again, in multiple race wagers, I'm using the 2 Bafferts and Keenan. I'm in a win situation, a few bucks on Runaway Ghost. Of the 2 Bafferts, you prefer McKenzie. We were watching his replay the other day for the debut. Very, very impressed. And listen, I think he gets the 2 turns.
I mean, he's the kind of horse, he reminds me a little bit of Mastery, just simply because, you know what, the stretching out, he started at 7. I know Mastery had a graded stakes win prior to the Los Al race last year, but it was the 7/8 race that made me think, all right, well, maybe we've got something here. You know what, he wouldn't be a surprise at all. The thing is, the worst thing that is going to happen to this horse, if he goes through and checks all the boxes and wins and does everything the way he's supposed to, now all of a sudden he's thrust into that that upper echelon along with Good Magic, with Bolt Doro.
Catholic boy.
Does he deserve to be there just yet? Who knows? We'll find out. I think that a lot of weight goes into these connections.
Now, from a wagering standpoint, you know McKenzie's going to be short. Do you try to make money in this race by getting instilled regard into the number and sort of splitting the 2 Bafferts?
Just for ha-has. I mean, it wouldn't be for anything significant, because I do think instilled regard is going to be up against it in this race. I like him going forward. I think he could be a really nice 3-year-old. But if I just absolutely had to play, it'd be a 5-1 exacta and see what happens.
5-1-3 for Matt, 4-5-3 for me in the Grade 1. Los Alamitos Cash Call Futurity. Reminder, if you're playing the Los Alamitos card from home on Saturday, if you go to drf.com/fall, type in the promo code FALL300 immediately. You access a $300 sign-up bonus, and you can start wagering right away. Approximate post time for the Saturday DRF Bets Race of the Day, 1:56 Pacific. Good luck.